All right. Sorry about that. I am Char J, your fabulous therapist of Cultivated Minds Counseling Group. Like I was saying earlier, I was here getting a tire put on my daughter's car. I was thinking about how some people will refuse mental health counseling. When mental health counseling, most of the time, the reason we don't receive it is because of our core beliefs. Whether you grew up with your parents, and put my seatbelt on, whether you grew up with your parents, grandparents, probably saying negative things about mental health. And listen, let me say this. They did not mean any harm by it. They did not mean any harm by it. What it is they didn't know. So now we, all of us, I'm talking about all races, we are more apt now to receive mental health services because a lot of people like myself is out here educating the community on mental health. That is my platform, is to break the negative stigma that is related to mental health. Okay? Like, once again, I'm Char J, your fabulous therapist of Cultivated Minds Counseling. And I am here not to replace a therapist, practitioner, or counselor. I am only here to educate the community on mental health. A lot of times when our parents and our grandparents and forefathers, when they shunned upon mental health, it's simply because the lack of education. You know, they think in one thing and it's really not that. But like I was saying, it could be through a grieving process. It could be you had and that's a loss for you. Anytime a loss is involved, whether it's a loss of a relationship, a loss through a death, a loss through a friendship, or did I say that? Friendship, loss of virginity, it's a loss. So a lot of times people get counseling for grief. Then, also, here we go. What if we have an overwhelming of sadness, right? An overwhelming of sadness that interrupts our day. That you're so sad. Sometimes people can get sad and be tearful and don't know why. Okay? That's not that you just crazy. Like I said earlier, a lot of times people mention that term crazy, and I bet you, if you ask them, 99.9% of the time, they cannot give you the definition of crazy. And it's simply because they grew up on that term. It is a core belief. And it hinders us. We cannot grow into our full capacity of life because we got something holding us back. Okay? Whether it's trauma, whether it's the lack of trust, whether it's the lack of survival. I'm in a survival mode. Maybe some utilities got cut off when you were a kid. Maybe you could not get what you wanted. Maybe your parents or your parent, whomever, you move from home to home. You know what? That's going to put you in that survival mode every time. Every time. I had a guy in one of my groups. He told me, he said that, hi, that was my church member. He told mental health. And why we should be considering counseling. Don't look at it in a negative light. It's nothing negative about it. You want to be a whole person, the whole you. How can you excel to your highest capacity if you got something blocking you? If you got some things in your life that are not played out. If you got some things in your life that are not worked out. So how can you really grow into your full capacity? So that is my thing. And that's here to talk about. So, and another thing too, going back to us not being able to or don't want to get into the realm of having a counselor. And like I said, it could be anything. Excessive worrying, overthinking. Okay, does that mean you're crazy? No. That means I want to know, why am I overthinking? Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This channel is total mental health education, not to take the place of your counselor, practitioner, or your therapist. This is totally educational purposes only. So why would I not want to go see someone if I want to better myself, if I want to better my life? I want my children, my family, to get the whole me, not pieces of me that's been held back by my past. So we could be in a survival mode. All depends. Let's start off with some utilities cut off. This one guy that I'm seeing, his thing was, he is so afraid that he's not going to have enough money, and he just constantly worry about that. So we went back in time, went back to the childhood, and sure enough, they had utilities cut off when he was a child. They had to move several times, so they had to move, and unconsciously, his thoughts were, I don't want to never be back in that position again, so I got to stay on top of what's going on with me. And he just constantly worried about that. That's the thing. We never know what someone is going to counseling for, because it could be for anything. It does not necessarily mean you're crazy. You don't have to be hearing or seeing things. And even hearing or seeing things, a person is not crazy. Not to me. Okay? So therefore, I am just encouraging you to see a therapist, see a counselor, see a practitioner. It is nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. It is nothing wrong with you wanting to be the best version of you life could ever hold. You will grow into your full capacity. I was looking at a little girl. We could look at the same two girls, 7 years old, right? The same two little girls was molested or sexually, I don't think we could say that, or essayed, I'm not sure, abused by, let's say, a stepfather. Well, one little girl told her parent, and the parent did not believe her. Said, why are you lying on him? Second one took matters into their own hand, got the child to a therapist. Do you not know trauma stagnates the brain? Did you know that? So the little girl that went on and got a therapist became a doctor. It's nothing wrong with other career choices in life. But I want you to know, the same two, one did not go to a therapist. She carried these things on around in life. On her job, where everybody else was getting raises, she didn't even ask for a raise. Or she didn't even ask, what's going to qualify me to get a raise like everyone else? You know why? Unconsciously, she was afraid of rejection. She was afraid of, she asked for the raise, she would get rejected. And it's taking her back to when her mother first rejected her, when she was trying to tell about the stepfather. She remembered her heart dropping to her feet. Like, why did my own mother not believe me? So this child didn't get a therapist. So guess what? Just being a doormat to me all the way through life. Because unconsciously you are afraid of the rejection if you spoke up for yourself. She worked somewhere else, but I can tell you this, she didn't become a doctor like this one that's seen a therapist. Trauma stagnates the brain. Please like, share, and subscribe, guys. Trauma stagnates the brain. So you want to be your whole full self. And there's nothing wrong with getting a therapist, counselor, practitioner, whatever you want to call them. A lot of times people say, well, I see a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist is different. That's why they have a different title. A psychiatrist is to write you your medication, your psychotropic medications, okay? That's what a psychiatrist would do. The therapist, counselor, practitioner will do the talking. They will provide you the psychotherapy, where the psychiatrist is providing you psychomeds. I hope you all get that. A lot of people don't understand that, but the and talk with you, where the counselor, therapist, practitioner will. Psychiatrists provide psychotropic medications. Therapist, practitioner counselor provides psychotherapy. This is the one the psychotherapist is going to talk with you. It is nothing wrong with seeing a therapist. Once again, please like, share, and subscribe. I am Charjay, your fabulous therapist of Cultivating Minds Counseling Group, where we get to the root of the problem one session at a time. Thank you guys for listening.